Mondays are made for motivation, and today's message is if you want to be successful or if you want to succeed, then you have to be a bit delusional. Now, I know that already sounds dumb as hell, and if you've spent enough time on the internet, you probably run across a couple people already saying the quote, Delulu is the solulu, which does sound pretty silly, but being delusional could actually help you achieve your goals. Don't take it from me though. Check out Busta Rhymes and then we'll come back and chop it up.
It ain't gonna work. Delusional. Complete delusion. You gotta believe the delusion. Because it's only delusional until it works. So is it really delusional? A motherfucker only gonna call it delusion until it don't work for nobody else to see, but for the whole world to see. And then once the world see it, there's nothing delusional about it. Now your delusion becomes, oh, he was a genius. We didn't see it when he saw it. We didn't understand it when he did. We thought this motherfucker was crazy. But he definitely always figured this thing was the thing to do, and he stuck by that shit.
Now, shout out Busta Rhymes for that message, and I think he's 100% correct. Listen, guys, at the end of the day, if you want to achieve anything, you have to have at least some degree of faith. And inherently, that faith is going to come off as delusional to other people. You know, we live in a world today where everything is so physical and tactile. Everything has to be so tangible. People can't perceive the simple fact that some things start from the inside, the mind, where our true desires start, and then they come to fruition with the work that we put in. Now, am I saying you have to be delusional and just assume things are gonna fall into your lap? No, don't be fucking stupid. But what I am saying is, if you have just a little bit of faith and you're willing to put in some work, one action behind the other, let it precede the other, then eventually you'll get to where you want to be. Now, I think this falls into three different formats. First one being desire, second one being formulation, and then of course the third one being action. And we all know how to define action. Action is just you putting in the work to get to where you want to be. But what about number two or number one? When we talk about desire, of course we know what we want, but then how do we plan that out? Me personally speaking, for some of the goals that I have, the way I plan those out is I use a notebook. I use a journal, I'll write those things down, and then from there, I'll write out actual action steps that I'll use and follow up with from time to time to make sure that I'm still on task with the things that I want. It only becomes delusional if you expect it to fall into your lap. And there's a lot of people out there like that. You know, you'll run into these people all the time. Sometimes you might have a conversation where you're talking about achieving your goals and achieving your dreams. And you know, some people, they just say, or they just mention that they expect these things to happen without any actual work or effort being put in. But the only way these things work is if you are willing to put in the work. Speaking of work, there are a lot of guys out there that aren't working the normal corporate 9 to 5, and apparently all of society is having a meltdown about this. And to that, I say, good, don't do it. The only reason why I would say that is if you're actually doing something and you're working for yourself or you're working in collaboration with people or whatever the case may be, find your desire. What is the thing that you truly want to do? I say it all the time, and I'll just say it here because I feel like this is a safe space where we can share things, and personally, I want my acting and modeling career to grow as much as possible. I don't know what your goals and desires are, but I'm sure they have to be something that might be a little bit bigger than what the average person might be thinking. And when it comes to talking to the average person about these goals and desires, of course they're gonna have their doubts, and yeah, they're gonna think you're delusional as hell. There's a lot of people that have already died, and I mean that in a sense that they're no longer chasing the things that they want. They're no longer going for those goals. They no longer have an ambition to become something more than what they already are. And they're just patiently waiting for the grave. I ask you, do you really want that to happen to you? It doesn't have to be that way. Being delusional, in my personal opinion, is a lot better than thinking all life has to offer me is the things that I see in front of me. Because when I was growing up, if that was the case, I would never get to where I wanted to be in life. And I could only imagine that might be the same thing for you. So this video is super short, super quick, getting straight to the point. Being delusional is the solution, and the only way you do that is by having a true desire, properly formulating it, and then acting upon that desire and ensuring that you stay on track, constantly checking with either your journal or your database, wherever you enter these things. Just make sure that you have it somewhere that will keep you accountable. This way you stay on course to achieve your dreams. Because much like Busta Rhymes said, at some point, the delusion turns into something actual. And everyone that's doubted you along that entire journey is now going to think you're a genius. And final note, this isn't to say that you have to do this to prove people wrong. I think in fact you should be doing this to prove to yourself just how much you can grow as an individual. Beyond all that, what people have to say about you and what people think about your goals or your dreams or whatever the case may be, it's all bullshit. It's all hogwash, right? So that's the message for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Feel free to check out some of the links in the description. We got other videos coming out this week. And let me know if there's any topics specifically you want me to talk about. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.